You might not know it, but the hustle and bustle of this farmers market in Davis, California was once just a small handful of people. What started out as a few farmers getting together to sell produce has grown by leaps and bounds since its inception in 1976. And it's all because of this woman, Annie Main. With her love of agriculture and also a need for a few more college credits to graduate, this UC Davis student started a small school project.
Well, at that time we were starting the Davis Food Co-op. And so the buying club decided to go to a storefront. And so we were, helping out, doing that. And another fellow said, do you want to start a farmer's market? And so at that time there was basically no farmer's markets in the state of California except the one in San Francisco. And there was a version in Sacramento, but it wasn't a market where it was farmers selling to the public. It was resale.
Annie and her husband Jeff say even though the market got off to a slow start, it was their passion for community and farming that helped push their dream forward.
And it just felt really right to have farmers selling to the public and, sort of bypassing the middleman and being able to get, more of the dollar.
It's those values that's kept them a part of the Davis Farmers Market for more than 30 years, helping it grow into a booming business. In the 1970s, there were only a handful of farmers markets in California, and now there are more than 500 certified farmers markets throughout the state. By eliminating the middleman, farmers markets help to preserve family farms, support California's agriculture, and it keeps the prices low for consumers.
I know the community over the years, and being here, having customers ask me questions, and they give me recipes, but it is a relationship, and I think that is really important. Crab apples are, your grandmother's kind of fruit, and I have some trees, and I wanted to try some different products. Okay, here's a different version of spaghetti. Okay, you got your cherry tomatoes. You can do peppers, you can do eggplant, you can do squash, and you can do tomatoes raw, not cooked, some basil, and some Parmesan cheese, and it's really good. My husband said, I don't know, and he really liked it.
Not ones to follow the crowd, the couple continued to carve out the life they dreamed of by also starting a farm, Good Humus Produce, in 1976. Farming and being as self-sufficient as possible is so important to them that they instilled it in their 3 children, the value of sustainable farming.
The intensity of its use has changed tremendously. When we first started, we planted a lot of single crops. Now we have perennial crops, annual crops, crops that are harvested by insects for their own uses, crops that are harvested by other species.
This is my hedge of rosemary. Rosemary creates a great hedge, but you can also harvest it and use it. And this is a great, it's great. I love roasted potatoes and rosemary.
Humus is the Latin word for soil. Taking advantage of the rich soil and mild climate in Northern California's Yolo County, the Mains learned early on in farming that diversity is key, which is why they grow everything from herbs and fruit orchards to a variety of vegetables and fields of flowers. They also wanted to carry on farming traditions of past generations.
Well, my background is that my grandparents and great-grandparents are from Santa Rosa, and they farmed. And so I spent my summers visiting my grandma and, making jams and preserves and watching that farm. And that's really was part of who I am.
One of the things that is really, really important for us now is to take the work that we've done and have it legally secured so that other people can build on this work. And in our case, that is comes in the form of an easement, an agricultural easement that we're working on, that will legally make this farm always be a farm, always required to be family farmed, and always have to be have income produced from this farm.
The Mains have worked hard for the past 30 years on their farm, but now they're also working to make sure the next generation will be able to carry on their work. Whether it's their children or someone else who takes over good Humus produce, the goal is to make sure this small family farm stays around for a long time to come.
I think it's totally, it's always a mixed bag. I think that the kids are young. They're, 18 to 24, still trying to figure out what they want to do in life. We don't have the expectations that they will farm. We would love it if they would, but only if they would love to do it. It's no fun to not work your passion, which Jeff and I have done, is to work our passion.
It's been everything we hoped for. Starting in the 70s, essentially learning how to farm in the 70s, growing our farm in the 80s, along with our family, along with the buildings here and all. It was everything that we had hoped for when we got together. When we got together, we wanted to raise a family in the country, being as self-sufficient as possible, and dreaming of developing a place of our own. And those dreams have pretty much come true. I mean, it's been an incredible life.